down low, the screen's on fire. Reels are spinning, we're fueling desire. Split in two, who's running the show? Popcorn's popping, let the truth flow. Severed thoughts, we're cracking the code. Ripping through stories that the screen's bestowed. From blockbuster bombs to the gems unknown. We're slicing the scenes, yeah, we're setting the tone. Cue the drama, crank the sound. We're tearing the plot lines down. No secret spared, we're spilling the tea. The seven floors where you wanna be. Do you wanna cut it? Yeah, yeah. Rip the screen apart, ignite the spark. Do you wanna gut it? Oh, oh. Truth's a blade, we're leaving a mark. From the twists to the turns, we're calling it raw. Welcome to the madness of the severed floor. Do you wanna cut it? Cut it, cut it. Let's review, it's what we do.
And we are back, guys. Welcome back to another episode of The Severed Floor. I'm your host, Hinano, along with D, Video Shane, and Slider. Today is just us four today, guys. We are on Thursday. This was kind of the day we could fit it into the schedule this week, but we are stoked to review Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 4, and that's basically the episode that happened last week, Thursday. I know we have a new episode today, but we're going to be reviewing Episode 4, and guys, we are not an official podcast. We basically review TV shows and movies in the name of peace over here. Let's go. By the way, let's go to the synopsis of the episode, guys. So the episode that we're reviewing today is called Need I Say Door, which is a flashback that shows Chris and Keith on a hunting trip with their dad, Augie, who ends up shooting a very small alien that runs out of the woods with a device in hand, revealing the true origins of the QUC, or the Quantum Unfolding Chamber. That's basically that quantum room that's in Chris's bedroom. Also in the present, Economos is torn by loyalty. He warns Peacemaker via a broken text message that Argus is about to raid his home, while also knocking out Agent Red to save Eagly. Fleeing, Chris faces Judo Master in a brawl in the forest while accidentally crushing him when he falls on top of him. Also, guys, they find a hiding spot in the grandfather's cabin where Chris confides in Abadayo about the portal's secrets and his temptations to escape back to the best dimension ever, strengthening their bond as well as helping Chris move the QUC to the grandfather's cabin. Lastly, we end with Rick Flag Sr. pressuring Harcourt with an Argus job as he offers her a chance to come back into the fray if she agrees to betray Chris, setting up an ambush at the park, leaving the team in a tense cliffhanger at the end of the episode, guys. And guys, this is going to be a very spoiler episode, so keep that in mind. And I'll just go down one time to say hi to my co-host, D. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I don't know if my fan is too loud. Can you guys hear my fan? Or am I
No.
good? Okay.
But we know you're definitely a fan. Yeah, that was a bad one. Never mind.
He'll be here all day, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
here all day. Boom, boom. Video Shane.
Yeah, hi.
I'm sorry. I'm so bad at cutting off my wife.
Moving on. Go ahead.
Video Shane, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be here.
Let's go. Slider, how you doing, my friend? Back from another dimension, I say.
I am, guys. I am hopefully not from the world that Peacemaker is going to, but yeah, I'm good, guys, and I can't wait to get into the episode.
All right, guys. Yes, so let's get right into it, guys. And so I'm just going to play this in the background really quick, and we'll kind of like get into the synopsis of what's going on here. So a couple moments that happened in the episode. We had that flashback with the portal. We had Economos basically... I'm sorry. What's that?
Did you want to share something?
Oh, did I not share that? Look, guys, it's been a while. I haven't streamed in a week. I'm rusty. Please excuse me. Anyways, where was I? I was talking about key moments in the episode. Key moment. We had a flashback. It explains the origins of the QUC. I have some thoughts on who I think invented the QUC. I really thought it was the Linear Men. I was completely wrong on that. But I think I have an idea of who it might be. Also, we're going to be talking about Economos's loyalty to Chris as well as Argus, as we got to see some funny scenes with him, and we got to see him some stalling as well with the guy. Judo Master's back, as well as we got to see a little bit more of the QUC tech and everything in between. So guys, kind of give me your take on the episode. How did you like it? What did you dislike? Slider, let's start with you.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. You know, it gave a little bit of the backstory. Kind of my favorite part, probably the scene where Economos and Flurry are interacting inside when that iconic spit in the face. That was a pretty good scene. And what's his face? Wild. That's a good one with Eagly and stuff. Probably, I don't know, the end of the episode, I would say, is probably what I didn't like the most, just because I'm not sure what Hardcore is going to do at the end, and kind of how Rick, you know, Flag's putting some pressure on her and that whole kind of deal. Like, so, but I mean, overall, I thought it was, you know, a good episode. You know, there wasn't tons of action, but, you know, it definitely moved the story along and, you know, gave us some clues. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Nice. Video Shane.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, it's a good episode. It wasn't my favorite of the season so far, but it fills in a lot of information. This is more of an information giving episode. It felt like, and setting up a lot of things as well. Setting up the relationship with Hardcore. You know, that is she willing to give up Peacemaker? And then I thought there was some really good dialogue between Chris and Ads when, you know, she was giving a lot of, you know, information about why this is the world you belong in, and you need to fix this world and guarantee whatever's over there is not what you think it is. You know, all the stuff that we've already been saying on this show. And yeah, I think it was, you know, watching Economos's journey and his struggle internally to protect his friends and willing to text message. And of course that spit scene was just made me laugh out loud. And then him farting around, you know, with the keypad trying to draw out time was hilarious. Just him struggling with that. I don't know if you watched the podcast afterward, but they talked about that spit scene, and it was crazy to me that it was done with like a blowgun almost, of like a gel type of material from the other side of the room. Like, I mean, you know, they always talk about these, you know, celebrity actors and, you know, pampered. I sure as heck wouldn't want to get a gel thing shot at my face from across the room.
Pause.
Yeah. So,
and that was a good podcast because, like, Tim Meadows was the guest on the podcast, and I really enjoyed Tim Meadows, and we got to at least kind of have an idea of like how he started. We find out that Tim Meadows is not an audition guy.
yeah.
Like, you know, he's not good at it. Like, he's more of like, you already know my range, and we all know Tim Meadows' range. It's the SNL range, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you get what you get right there. But it was a phenomenal casting, and I loved it. You know, that line, Ginger Cool GC, you know, it was just great.
The timing was perfect.
D?
For me, I thought the episode was kind of like, it wasn't like the best ones. I mean, it was only the fourth, but out of the four, it wasn't like the best one. And it felt to me like, I mean, we got some information as well, but more of a filler kind of episode. For me specifically, I did, and it wasn't as long as it normally should have been. But one of my favorite scenes was when Saint Wild was getting when he ate the Eagly's dropping, and he like knew what he had eaten.
Yes.
Because I was like 4 days old, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
Peter chips.
That crunch noise, you know, that
yeah.
like
That's
it's like almost
great.
like brittle he ate, right?
Yeah.
And Economos is just like, ugh.
Did
Yeah,
you watch
that's-
the after credits to see the extended version of all
Yeah.
that? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
It's like,
like
that bird is
cold
better
cut.
than us.
Yeah.
Economist like, "There's no way you know all of that from eating that."
Yeah, got some caviar. He's better than me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and Economos, he's like, he's not good at lying,
No.
but he tries to where it's believable. Because when he shoved Saint Wild and then he regained consciousness and he was going on that whole tale of what happened and there was 2 eagles and
Yeah.
it just came. It was like, oh my gosh, like, are you even listening to yourself? But
Right.
I get it, it's a show. But yeah, he's not the best fibber.
That
he
does
tried.
set up something really cool though with Red, right? Or I believe that's his name, right? Michael Rooker's
Red
character,
Saint Wild,
the Eagle Hunter, right? Yeah,
Right.
but like, but that reminds me of like the Red from, and I think we learned this from Titans, where like certain characters like Beast Boy can channel the Red, and that's how they're able to talk with like all the animal spirits of the world in DC. And so we kind of see that with Michael Rooker. You know, he starts
like
channeling, right? Yeah, he's like, he says, my third eye's been open, right? After he got like conked in the head. But then you see at the end of the episode, like he's got some magical powers, right? And that's where I'm like, okay, this is the Red, you know? So very interesting. But let's rewind and let's go back to the beginning where they find the QUC. Now, this is the picture of the alien or nymph or imp or whatever this thing is. And we also find out that the dad is not a genius. He stole it basically from these imps. And that's how they get the QUC. Now, we still don't know who these are. And that's what frustrated me about this episode. I was a bit frustrated with the episode because I felt like it was a filler, but they stretched it in a way where like this was advertised to me by Gunn that we were going to find out about the QUC. But I guess we were just going to find out about the fact that the QUC was invented by these guys, but we don't know who these guys are, right? Like they're really playing this long game. And I have a feeling I know who these creatures are, but I will wait till the end to kind of say who it is because I use the AI to justify my theory here. So I'll wait on that. But guys, what did you think about this reveal and who do you think these aliens are?
That's a tough one. I don't know enough about DC lore to make a guess as to who they could be. I mean, the thing I got out of the scene was, you know, what an absolute piece of garbage he's been his entire life. You know, and obviously, I think anytime you show violence towards a child, is your immediate gut reaction is, okay, well, that person's a piece of junk, and he's had to endure that his entire life. So that's more what I got out of it, and that he's willing to just, you know, kill anything that he sees. Essentially, it takes violence as the immediate answer to all problems.
Yeah, the dad's pretty. He's kind of a douche. Like if you're really, and we're always reminded that I guess DCU dad is always a douche. Yeah, and I'm wondering if like they're reminding us of that just to remind us about the cool side of the dimension as well. But yeah, he's always played as a douche. He literally like makes his kids like touch all the fireworks stuff first before him, right? Like he'll put his kids in front of him. He's selfish. Yeah. So Slider, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'm not really sure who the aliens are. I mean, I know Gunn likes to use like kind of like obscure, kind of like pull from obscure parts of the DC universe and stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure who these guys could be. I'm thinking though, like from the first episode when he was referring to them as like, you know, I'm guessing these are the imps, but you know, he was kind of like calling them what, like midgets or something, like he was
munchkins.
Yeah, munchkins. So like that's I kind of think these are the same people, and like they both have run into them, and maybe that's how the father like gets the helmets. I'm thinking maybe because he's a racist in this world, and then the other world I think is going to end up being like the Nazi world, that maybe they communicate, you know, because they kind of have the same morals. So he says, okay, well, here's some helmets to help you like try to make your world like our world. I don't know. I just kind of think that might be something going on here. But yeah, the alien itself, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Okay. D, you got any thoughts about who this might be? And I don't think D even knows my my speculation yet.
I don't, but immediately I thought imps, just because the father has brought them up in previous episodes, and he was like very derogatory towards them. So that's my initial thought. Who the imps are and what they can do, I'm not exactly sure. But there is, I believe, a specific dimension for these, I guess, aliens or creatures. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, they have like what blue blood, but I'm not. Like I said, I don't know much about them except like they found either the QUC or they created the QUC, and he's got this the control in this what do you call it? It's not a helmet, but that thing next to him. The control.
That's
what it's
in
called.
my opinion, that's a key.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because that's the thing that opens up and creates the portal, right?
Correct. Now, we do have a co-host that's not here that would probably agree with me on my speculation who this is, and I think you guys will really like what I'm going to say at the end, because it kind of ties in to the overall episode in terms of things that were said. But let's move on, because I will divulge who I think these imps are at the very end of the episode.
Wow.
And
teasing it out.
Yes, because I'm pretty
tuned.
sure I think I know who these guys are now after talking with you guys. And yes, and if Meta Beast was here, he would probably agree with me. So, but let's go to basically the fight scene. We got Chris. He comes back from the best dimension ever. He has no idea that his entire house got ransacked by Argus and that Eagly was protecting everything in there. He lies down in his bed, and then he finds out there's all kinds of stuff going on. And then he gets I believe it's one of these. He gets a text message from Economos saying, you got to get out of your house right now, in the worst sloppy text messaging. Like, it's like almost I wrote the message to the guy ever to get out of the house. And he realizes Argus is there. They escape. And that's where like all kinds of funny things happen. Basically the scene right here where you have Economos behind Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker, he eats a piece of bird poop, and he pretty much knows exactly what Eagly ate. And, that scene right there was super iconic because the crunch noise, like it was like just that crunch, like, he was going to put it in his mouth. As soon as he picked it up, it's like, it's Michael Rooker. He's going to eat it. Right. And sure enough. And he had the best line, like I taste cold cuts. It's like he was tasting everything. At the very end of the scene, we find out that the bird has a really, really nasty habit of food. But I really like this scene. Economos at the very end, he knocks out Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker falls down, and it ensues to like a very funny opening moment where Peacemaker tries to get out of there. Abadiah picks him up, and they go to the grandpa's cabin where they have that device that the alien had, and they plan on moving the QUC to a different location concurrently while this is going on. Argus has breached the house, and they're trying to get into the closet as well. And you have Economos stalling. So I kind of wanted to know your guys' take on this scene. What you guys like about it, your do's and don'ts, and what could have been done differently if it could have. Slider.
Yeah, I think Economos did really great in that scene. Both of them were good. Him and Michael Rooker. I love the part where he's like the eagle to rule them all. That was pretty funny. And it just seems like he's just making stuff up on the fly. Like, that's what you think in the moment. But then kind of towards that end of the scene, you see kind of like, oh, well, he actually does have some kind of powers. So, that was pretty interesting. The part with, when Economos is stalling and everything, I mean, it was good. It wasn't really that believable, I was kind of like, how are these people like not going to just like call him right away, with it? Cause you could clearly, he's talking about a cat in a drawer, and I think that like set him off because they were like, who cares? But yeah, so, it it was interesting, but you know, the whole, I don't know, it was just like the door, it's like it was kind of like predictable. Like I knew the whole time pretty much like that, like the door, they were opening it, and the other one, they were in the middle. You just kind of knew like it wasn't they weren't going to get in there, that it was going to open up to an empty closet. And so that kind of thing, you know, it was, I don't know, that scene was okay. The best part of it, like I said, I think was the spit with Flurry and that exchange. But yeah, like you said, I wish we could have got a little bit more about the portal and stuff, because they spent a lot of time in that scene just like going through that little part, you know, and I think they could have used that maybe a little bit more to kind of explain what's going on with the portal and stuff. But yeah, so that was my only little part with that scene.
I see. What'd you think of the scene? I know you were your favorite on the spitting scene right here, Shane. But like, you know, you're a video guy. Kind of like walk us through what you thought of this this moment in the beginning.
Well, I mean, like we've all said, it's kind of a filler episode, but it also is an episode that we get a ton of information, and I think that's appropriate for the midway point of the season. I believe there's 8 episodes this season, so episode 4 should be kind of the midpoint where we get a bunch of new information that we get to unpack over the remaining 4 episodes. And when I say additional information, you know, we learn a little bit more of the backstory of Economos, you know, that we didn't know he was recorded by the agency at, you know, 14, and what his it lets us expand upon what his capabilities are. And then we learn about Red's, you know, mystical capabilities. This is the first time that we're seeing mystical stuff being incorporated. And, you know, what does that mean? And what are his skills and abilities? I'm sure that's going to unfold over time. And, you know, just the deepening relationship between Ads and Chris. I think that she, you know, really values him, and I thought that exchange between her wanting to expand her business and putting an ad in a magazine, and him shooting it down, like 4 people read that magazine.
It's a whacking hut.
Yeah, it's there's nobody looking to hire anybody in that, and she's just disappointed. Yeah, there was and then, you know, obviously we're setting up this whole thing with them tricking Hardcore into believing that she could come back into the good graces of the agencies, and challenging her loyalties to the group. And then, you know, sprinkle in there a little bit of a fight scene between Judo Master and Chris. And I think, you know, I've always thought of Judo Master as, you know, being a formidable foe, but and he is, but it almost felt like in this fight that he was more of like an insect, like, you know, swatting like a fly bothering him at dinner. You know, he's like jumping around him. He's like, "Come on, get off of me," you know, and then them tumbling down and him just, you know, squashing him. And then
He literally kind of
walking
tells him that at the end too, right? You know, like
Yeah.
you're a nuisance or something,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, but back to that scene. Yeah, I don't know. I get it that what you're saying about them being able to see through his lies, and they definitely call him on it. They're like, "Who cares about the cat? Let's just go. Let's move this along." And I get the sense that they may have let it slide because this is how he operates previous to this. Like he questions himself, I think, in front of other people. When he's alone and he's, you know, 14 in his basement, he can hack with the best of them. But when he's in front of a group, you know, have to perform essentially, he probably has some hesitations around just from being around adults what seems like his entire life. Always looking for their approval. Essentially, I'm projecting what I imagine that actor would be building on for this character. So yeah, so there's just this is a great buildup, and I think there's going to be this episode tonight's probably going to have a lot of resolution, as it were, moving, and then drive us into the final home stretch for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. D, your take, and then I kind of want to go to like a specific moment in the episode. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to get a little bit more about Economos. I wish they had like a little bit more of a backstory, maybe in another episode. But I mean, cool. He's been there for like, well, what is it? He was probably in his 40s now, or
Yeah.
I would assume. So yeah, like 30 decades, 3 decades of work for the government. So yeah, I mean, that was cool to learn about. But yeah, the whole cat in a drawer, it's like what? Like, you couldn't think of anything better than that? Like, seriously?
He can't think on it. He can't think of a fast lie. Same thing with the eagle. There
Yeah.
was another eagle that flew in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I take
A
this
great
thing
eagle.
and I just plug this into this port. It's like, okay, just do it already.
Just do it.
Yeah, get to hacking that door.
Yeah.
And I know he was probably like just sweating bullets, because if he didn't install enough, then they would eventually open the door. And what would they do if they got their hands on the QUC, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I can see that he's like under pressure, because not only that, but also he wants to be there to save his friend, or Chris, and make sure he doesn't mess that up for him while he's trying to relocate that dimensional portal. So I think in that take, like the side by side kind of thing between Economos trying to get into the door, as well as Chris and Az trying to get that working in the cabin. I think that was like the only like the most action packed in this episode, specifically for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was good.
And then, of course, Vigilante coming in at the very end. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there before, like best friend stuff.
Yeah,
I know all about the
Best-
QUC.
Yeah.
This scene frustrated me, actually,
Oh.
because it showed me how incompetent Argus is. Argus should not be incompetent. Argus is like one of the leading teams out there. They're kind of like, X-Force or something like that, but like with the human side, or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yeah,
That's
S.H.I.E.L.D.
who they are. And they're making the worst mistakes possible. Like, obviously, take Economos out of there completely and find someone else that will do their job, right? He's flawed, right? You know what I mean? He is compromised. And we see that when Rick Flag goes into try to convince Harcourt, right? And he knows already that Harcourt, he can try to like, strong arm, because she wants to get back into Argus's good graces because of what Amanda Waller did. He basically blackballed her. But Economos, like, he's constantly in like a position of power. They know he's close with Peacemaker, yet they allow him to stay there. And maybe for a baiting thing, which isn't working for Argus. But like, come on, with the stalling of the door, I thought it just took way too long. Like, at the point when the cat thing came out, I'm like, dude, literally find someone else smarter than him. I mean, there's got to be. I mean, there's so much other people in the DC universe they could have brought in, right? So I'm just saying, like, I don't know what's going on with this Argus team right here, but this isn't Creature Commandos. All right.
Yeah.
Somehow we went from Creature Commandos to this, right? Yeah. Or even Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah.
So something.
Yeah. Sorry. And it took him, like, when he finally got his phone confiscated towards the end, I was like, why didn't you do that earlier, right? Yeah. If you know that this dude is still got feelings, like he's loyal to his friends. So I thought, I'm like, really? And they didn't even check it. Because if they checked it, unless he deleted his messages, unless they checked it, they would have seen that he sent messages to his friend.
Shouldn't he be bugged? It's a company phone. Shouldn't everything be bugged?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be like all these things, right? Like it's like, and I get it. You're trying to serve your plot in this way, right? This is kind of like your MacGuffin, but like that's what frustrated me most about this scene, and the fact that Argus has just been making the worst mistakes. Like you put a guy with bird blindness in charge of the team, and then like he can't tell between a duck and an eagle. And I get it's satire, right? But come on, so there's that, right? But here's something that I do want to point out. After I tell everyone watching right now about the supported giveaway, we have a community giveaway that was donated by one of our panelists that isn't here. Shout out to Christopher. He donated this comic book, which is hard to find, by the way, because you had to have gone to an AMC theater in order to get this comic book. And if you look at the aftermarket, this thing ain't cheap. So he gave us one to give away. we've been holding this for a while. Today's the day we're going to give this away. And I'm sorry for the people watching. This is only US only because shipping outside of the US is kind of rough. So apologies. So if you would like a chance, one of you lucky US winners out there to win this All-Star Superman, which is an AMC exclusive. You cannot get this anywhere. You had to have been in the theater when Superman came out to get this comic book. And shout out to Christopher for donating this comic to everyone, whoever's watching. Enter right now, hashtag re-review for peace in the comments down below. And now, guys, we'll be back to our regular scheduled program. And I really want to talk about this exchange right here with Chris and Abadayo. I really enjoyed this. And I really felt like this exchange gave us a lot about what's really going on here in the entire season. Because Abadayo literally tells him, like, you know, he basically tells Abadayo that, you know, I found this portal or this door that leads to another dimension where it's better. Everyone loves me. And she's like, Chris, what if that's not even real? Mm-hmm. What if you found a door that gives you everything you want? And when I heard that, I'm like, I think I know what's happening here, because that makes sense, right? Like, obviously, it could also be that they're on Earth X, right? And if anyone knows what Earth X is, it's controlled by the Nazis. It's more of like a whitewashed world, per se. But I have another theory, and this is after hearing about this conversation right here. And I really love the fact that, and I love these two, by the way, when they get together, like this is like a true friendship right here. And this is the type of conversations that I love to see, because these are the conversations that I love to have in real life. And I know Video Shane knows this because we've had these conversations in Vegas. You know, you have these true conversations. These two are friends. And I love that they stipulate that in this episode. But she's literally coming to him as a friend saying, Chris, I don't think this is what you think it is. Chris thinks this is another dimension. And, you know, it could be. He thinks this is like, but I really think she's onto something, that this is a doorway that's giving him whatever he wants when he walks through it. A brother that's alive, a father that loves him, a world that loves who he is, a girlfriend that actually likes him, right? And, you know, obviously, whenever you're given something that you always wish you had, it turns out that it's not what you thought it was. And I really think that that's kind of like the overarching message of this season. And I really think this conversation gave us an idea of what's to come. What do you guys think about this whole entire scene? And do you think I'm crazy? Slider.
I mean, I kind of see what you're saying. And I kind of took something similar to that, where she was talking about, you know, like good and evil, and this is, you know, like where God wanted you over here and stuff. So for me, it kind of is setting up the Earth X thing in the way that it's like, you know, is that really the good place? You know, because he thinks like, you know, in this universe, you know, I actually got what I wanted, you know, and maybe that's the one I'm supposed to be in. And, you know, no, I'm not supposed to be in this one. Maybe the bad me is supposed to be over here, you know. And so I kind of see what you're saying, but I do think it's actually a real universe, just from basically how DC's going with the multiverse and, you know, Superman with Lex Luthor and all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking it is a real place, but I definitely, you know, because she even says, you know, like we were saying, you know, a couple weeks ago, like the grass isn't always greener, you know, on the other side. So I do think this definitely gave us some good hints at that part, and I'm still sticking with the Earth X. So that's just my opinion.
All right. What about you, Shane? I mean, I know you enjoyed this interaction as well, but what do you think's going on here?
Yeah, I'm leaning with Slider on this. I think it is probably Earth X. I would be disappointed if it was Wizard of Oz, you know, wake up, Dorothy, and it was all in his head. That would be a cheap out for me. Yeah, we've already established that, you know, this place does exist. This, you know, reality. You've got a theory behind that.
I'm gonna blow your minds at the end of the freaking episode.
Hit me with it. Bring
not
it
right now. No, we're not there yet, though.
Oh, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet, though.
This is the most you've ever teased anything ever. I love this.
Yeah, because I think I know where we're going, and
okay.
like I understand. There's a piece of and I get it. Some people don't know DC lore. I had to look this up.
Okay.
I had to look this up, but I think I have an idea of what's happening here. And I think Abadiah's given us a clue. But
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we've talked about this in the past that Gunn's dialogue definitely telegraphs things that are going to happen. So every line is in there for a reason. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm open to the idea. I'm hesitant to walk through right now.
All right. And so far, no one's entered the giveaway, even though we have 65 people watching. So if nobody enters, then this doesn't go out, by the way,
rolled
guys.
over.
Just say it. But anyways, D, what do you think's happening here? And like I said, guys, D doesn't know what's going on. And I think if MetaBeast was here, he would know what I'm talking about, because there's a character that a lot of people don't know about in DC lore. I didn't know about it either. And I had to look up this character when we interviewed Legacy on Future Watch. And
What are you talking about? Missile Pixel.
Well, now you gave it away. Thanks a lot.
Well, because you were saying.
I never asked you to say anything though. So.
No, but I'm like, because you're keeping me in suspense. But I want to hear your theory now, because I don't know anything about him.
This is how it is in our household. My wife wants to fast forward to everything. So unfortunately, folks, we're gonna have to fast forward.
Wait
now.
after. I'm just saying I want to know.
It's all good.
I know you want to know. But anyway. All right. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I like this dialogue between them, because they can be. I mean, they've been through a lot together, so I think they can be really honest with each other, even though they may not want to hear what the other person's saying. Just because, how he was kind of putting down like her advertisement in that one magazine. He's like, no, like it's just 12 people like subscribe to that. so this is like her kind of, looking out for him, and she wants the best for him and the best outcome for everyone. But it does make you kind of wonder. So yeah, thank you for putting that in my head, Nana.
Yeah, no. So you know what? Let's get to my theory already, because I know it's in everybody's head. And once I mention the name, people are probably going to Google it, right? So right here, we have this alien, right? We don't know who it is, right? Well, I think it's Nixelflick's a race. And who is Nixelflick and who is the race? Well, I'm going to tell you guys who they are. So essentially, Nixelflick, or Mr. Mixelflick, sorry, is one of DC's most iconic trickster characters. He's like their Loki, a mischievous imp from the 5th dimension, a realm of higher dimensional beings with reality warping powers, often tied to folklore like genies. He's known for popping into the 3D world to prank Superman and DC characters, manipulating physics, time, and space with a snap of his fingers. But he can only be banished by saying his name backwards. His home planet is the planet Zrif, and he's part of a race of imps with bizarre, unpronounceable names and a penchant for chaos, mischief, and true malice. They're known for disrupting worlds around the multiverse. All right, so here's what I asked the AI. I asked the AI, do you think Nixelflick or Mixelflick is the inventors of the QUC? And so this is what the AI said. It's a strong possibility in the DCU that James Gunn has rebooted, and I bet on it being intentional for fan service that it might be Nixelflick. Here's why. The realm. Nixelflick is from the 5th dimension, which is a higher plane, a 3D space and time, and it's the source of their power and tech. The QUC connects to 99 dimensions. It is hinted that there are other creatures and realms in the QUC. Why it matches? The QUC's multiverse scope screams 5th dimension vibes. Gunn loves weaving comic lore, and the 99 dimensions could be a cheeky shorthand for infinite higher planes. Let's see. Appearance and nature. Small. In the episode, we find out that there are small imps and aliens with godlike reality-bending powers. The same as Mixelflick, who is a trickster with godlike powers that likes to fester the Earth realm. It says right here, for the QUC makers, The prologue creature is a diminutive alien, an imp-like in earlier reports, that materializes out of nowhere and leaves bloody chaos and drops advanced portal tech. It is a spot-on architecture of an extra-dimensional visitor or alien causing accidental mayhem, much like Mr. Mixelflick's pranks gone wrong in the comic and comic lore. So that's who I think is really behind all this. And this kind of makes sense why this may fall into Superman Man of Tomorrow, because this guy, he's like the Loki or Q of the DCU. And he likes to just make all kinds of mischief. So he has that type of powers. So it just made sense to me when Abadayo said this could be something, this could be a world showing you what you want, kind of like a genie giving you what you want, right? And so that's kind of why I'm like this. Now, I could be completely wrong, but once again, we have to figure out and kind of like wrap our heads around like who this is, right?
Yeah.
Who are these little aliens? And this guy points right to it. Or at least that's my theory, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. What's your thoughts now that I've told you guys this? Slider.
I mean, I could see where you're going with it. Like, I mean, it does kind of make sense. Like, they could have been the inventors of this tech. And like, my only thing with what you said before is just the like making him think that it's real. Like, I still think that it's like an actual like place in the like, you know, multiverse. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that they could have been the ones who created this tech. I mean, that definitely is a strong possibility because we don't know who they are. But my only thing is like, why would they let him keep it for so long? I mean, if they're fifth dimensional beings and they have this power, like they could just take it from him at any period in time. And you know, like I if you can like go back in time, bend space and time, like wouldn't you like stop yourself from getting shot by the, you know, father at that point? So, you know, I'm not sure how he would like explain all that, but I mean, it's possible that, you know, they did create it, and these aren't even this person we see here, this alien. Maybe that's not the imps. We just think it's the imps. So yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a good, yeah, it definitely could be. So
Good point.
No, I think I think it's really interesting, and I'm glad you did all that research on that. I didn't know that I didn't know that this character was from another dimension, and that they call them imps, and so that tying in that word, I mean, that's a specific word from where this other space that Chris has gone on into. But at the same time, I'm kind of with Slider. Like, why would it exist for 35 years? That they, you know, specifically put the time period at the beginning of the episode that it was 35 years ago that they, you know, kill the alien and take this this portal. Yeah, it seems like if they have those kind of abilities, they'd be able to immediately track them down, especially because it's not like they're gonna intellectually outwit them because he's a, you know.
Maybe there's more than meets the eye in terms of Augie knowing. Maybe, I don't know, guys. Like I said, this is just like a little thing that I'm throwing out there because of what the episode is, and I'm gonna lean on this throughout the series because the more I research this character, the more this falls in line with this character and this race. Now another thing that Slider is completely right. The Earth X could still exist, and this construct, the QUC, was still built by these imp-like aliens from the fifth dimension. Because I'm just trying to wrap my head around, like, there's no other creature in DC lore that's small like that, other than these guys. And so, you know, I maybe there's some other aliens I might have missed. I could have, but whether Earth X is real or this is just this imp playing tricks, or maybe there's more to it, or maybe Augie was just like somebody that was like, you know, he was harmless, right? He was just, I mean, like, you know, it's not like they don't even know how to use the thing, right? The QUC, and we still really don't even know how he makes the helmet. So, but this is my fan theory. D, what do you think?
I like what you said about how do you say his name?
Mr. Mixelflick.
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 Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I know Metabeast did a class on trying to have us pronounce that before.
This is his favorite DC character, by the way, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And I didn't know a lot about. I didn't know really about him till you said all that stuff. So going along with your theory, I think they could be the founders, the creators of the QUC. And they built that, and somehow we ended up. I mean, obviously, the dude in the beginning got shot, and his technology was stolen. But it led me to think like why there's I don't know. There's a specific reason why they showed that right in the beginning. It's like the flashback,
Yeah.
and my thing was even though we see grown up Chris has had it in his closet, was that the same Chris when he was younger with the dad and the brother that found it, or could it be another version and they just kind of paneled to older Chris?
You know, it makes you
Having it?
wonder, does Augie know the other Augies?
Hmm.
Yeah,
You know what I
right?
mean?
I would
Because
say-
Yeah.
you know, so our Chris DCU, there's a little, you know, desk and there's a bunch of helmets there, right? And then on the Awesome Universe X side, you know, there's the same thing, and that's the same code. So the dads have been in the QUC, and that's
Mhm.
another thing, right? So if like 35 years ago, white supremacist Augie found the QUC, how did the other guys find it?
Yeah.
Right?
So that's why I was like,
Well, I do think
mm,
in the first episode, remember the father said that he had been battling those imps for years. So
mhm.
maybe
Mm.
that's something with that other universe. Maybe they know about the imps and they battled them and that, you know, they know all about that. But I do think that like this Augie, the father, has met the other father, and that's how the helmets got made. I think the other one is making them for him. But yeah, like
Mm.
I'm not
Mm.
sure with the whole with this one. I think just Peacemaker's father in this one. I think he just stole it. He used it. He got all his tech from the other father, you know, and he just wanted him to make the universe, you know, their universe like his universe, like a racist place. So that's why he was helping him out. But maybe he didn't know
Mm.
much about those imps, you know, this Peacemaker, and they just thought they were aliens, and you know, so yeah, I don't know.
I
You know,
think
so
like
oh,
oh
sorry.
sorry no.
No, go ahead.
I think in all the dimensions, the dad is just they're just all dicks in all the universes, in all the dimensions.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Well, I want to bring something up about the dad, right? So,
Mhm.
and it's this scene right here. This was like the last scene we see in season 1. And I remember the dad, the ghost dad saying, "You can't get rid of me. I'm always going to be here." So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
tells me there's a lot of these dads out there, at least probably 99 of them, right? So
Mhm.
how many of these guys really have met each other? Maybe they've all met each other. Maybe there's multiple Augies that have met each other, right? In the
Yeah.
QUC. But it does beg the question, and you know, I'm kind of now leaning towards more after we're talking about this that okay, maybe the imps built the QUC and Mr. Mixelplick is still a part of this because he is a big prominent character in DC lore.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
EarthX does still exist, and this is just kind of the highway that was introduced to, you know, Peacemaker and all these guys in order to like traverse these 99 doors. Obviously, the fifth dimension being the imps, right? And also with Slider bringing up the imps, saying like they battled it. I also remember Keith saying about the imps in the Awesome Universe as well. So I really think the imps are part of Mr. Mixelflick's race. I really think they built the QUC, or at least that's what makes sense. Unless someone else out there can tell me otherwise, maybe the linear men have an alien side of it. I don't know, but I really thought it was
Mhm.
a linear men. It could be these guys, and I don't know anyone else that could have invented this tech. This is kind of what I'm falling on, but it's interesting to see where this goes, and I really hope it leads to these guys anyway, because I would love to see these characters in like in a big movie in some way or fashion. So,
Yeah.
um, but
Well,
Mysteries.
he's another interesting character in that like you said, he's huge in DC lore in that, you know, it's more interesting to have characters that don't have to fight Superman on a strength level.
Mhm.
He has
Yeah.
he has to figure out other ways to defeat them. I mean, it's interesting that you bring up that scene with, you know, where he imagined his father sitting next to him, and then ads having that conversation about all of this could be in your head, and
Yeah.
you're imagining all of this. So yeah, I mean, you know, maybe there's something to it. I'm not going to shoot it down. I'm not going to shoot it down. Anything's possible.
Yeah. Well, that's what the discussion's all about, you guys.
That's right.
Also,
That's right.
shout out to the 75 people watching. If you want a chance to win a free comic book, because and by the way, everyone on the panel, please enter, because this is a book that I'm sure anyone would want to win. And luckily, no one's entered but you guys. So if one of you guys, if nobody enters, this book is going to go to one of the people up on the panel. But
Nice.
this book will be given away today, you guys. And if you go look at the graded copies, these are going for a pretty penny if you want to get these graded. So I'm just saying, not financial advice.
Not
Guys,
financial
Ooh.
advice.
Let's end it
So-
right here with Michael Rooker. We find out that he can tap into the red, which is a power used by Animal Man and Beast Boy to channel cosmic energy into like the beings of animal life and microorganisms in the universe. And this kind of blew my mind, where like, you know, I don't like seeing like an old white guy dancing around a fire in his underwear, but that's what we watched with Michael Rooker. I
Yeah.
mean, to each his own. But we find out that he has powers, and he was able to locate Eagly as well as Peacemaker's cabin right here. And he's
Mhm.
coming. He's on the hunt for this. So kind of give me your guys' thoughts on this kind of like this final scene. Well, this isn't really the final scene. We'll talk about the final scene, but what's your guys' thoughts about this? Where do you think this is going? And did you guys really think he had powers? Slider.
Yeah, I really didn't think he had powers. Just from how he was talking, you know, I thought he was like full of it, you know. But it's interesting how Gunn did it too, because like, you know, it's just weird how he has him dressed as like a Native American and then doing fire dance, right? And then now he's got like these powers to like astral project and stuff, and I'm just not sure. Like, I'm sure Gunn's got some reason he's going to explain it, which I'm really looking forward to see how he's going to, you know, work that. But yeah, I mean, I thought that, you know, I wasn't expecting it, so yeah. Yeah, it was a good end scene, and now I think this is definitely going to set up tonight's episode, where, you know, they know where he's at now, and they're going to be going there, and then I don't think he's going to be able to move the portal again. So I think maybe this is where we see them actually getting to go through the portal, because I think like before the season started, in the previews, you see them in their hazmat units, like going through the dimensions, like opening up the doors. And
Mm.
so maybe this episode tonight is going to be the one where that actually happens.
Are we gonna have a Slider episode?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool to see. Maybe.
So yeah, that's my.
What's your take on this, Shane? Did you know he had powers?
No, I agree. I agree with Slider. I did not see him having powers, and yeah, it's an interesting take to, you know, cultural appropriation. You know, dressing Native American and then you know, taking some Native American. Let's just trust in Gunn that you know, Red has some strong Native American you know, blood in his system that.
He just doesn't get out.
Yeah. There's something in there that allows this to happen, or he just he discovered this ability and attributed it to that and appropriated that culture. Either way, I'm going to trust in Gunn that there's a good reason for it. But yeah, interesting ability. I wonder what else. I mean, it seems like that's a lot of power circling around him to just have the ability to go inside of Eagly's head and see what he sees. I have to imagine there's going to be a lot more abilities that he has. Boy, he sure was digging deep into his forehead when he was pulling out all that blood to
Oh yeah.
put into the dirt. I was like, man, you're gonna need to see a doctor to get some more blood.
No, he opened
back.
up his third eye.
He sure did. He opened up a lot. That was a lot of blood. But yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it's cool to see this mystical side of the universe. I love seeing that kind of stuff. So, and that's once again, I love doing this show because you have a wealth of DC knowledge that I just don't have, and I didn't realize that this was a thing in the DC universe that Animal Man and
Beast Boy.
have. I did not know about that. It's like the Speed Force, but for
Hmm.
animals.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I did not know. So does that technically mean that Aquaman also has a bit of the red force or whatever it's called?
See, that I don't know because he kind of just talks with fish.
He just kind of talks with
He just
fish.
talks fish.
Right? So,
He seems like a fish. He
you
looks
know,
like a fish.
maybe he has the blues. I don't know. So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But you know how it goes with DC and Marvel. Like they kind of have similar things. They just rename it. Like you
Yeah.
got like
Mhm.
the what do they call those guys? The TVA and then the Linear Men.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of funny. Don't even get me started on Captain Marvel and Shazam. So
Well, then does Namor have the ability to talk to fish?
Yeah,
honestly,
does
I don't know
he?
anything
Or
about Namor.
because that's
I
his family, right? Is under the sea.
He is under the sea.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Under the sea.
maybe his sister's name is Ariel.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, long lost sister.
Under the sea. All right. So lastly, right here we have Rick Flag. He also goes and sees Harcourt after she's doing what she does best by beating people to a bloody pulp, and then cleaning herself afterwards. You also get to like learn a little bit about his history at Creature Commandos, where he said he broke his back, and there's some references with Creature Commandos. If you guys haven't yet, go check that out. Creature Commandos is an awesome series on
Awesome.
HBO Max. It's a cartoon series, and that's the whole reason why we got Frank Grillo was because of Creature Commandos. That's how we were able to get him right there. But it's really cool because we get to learn that these two had a relationship because of his son. It's a little awkward, even though Harcourt's trying to not make it awkward. And essentially, Flag is here to convince her to betray against Peacemaker, so they could try to capture him and the portal tech. And what I love about this is he sees the picture of them in the van, right? And so he also knows that she's compromised. But how compromised is she? Is she really a company woman? I guess they're gonna find out. But this again like goes against like the whole thing where I'm like, these guys are supposed to be the smartest and brightest minds in DC, and they're making these bad mistakes. Like I would have went to her automatically from the beginning, right when like at the first episode, I would have been like, "Yo, we need to get this guy and his stuff. You're the person we need to go to." It's like episode 4, we go to her. So I don't know. It's
I don't know. I have a theory on that.
Go ahead.
See, I'm thinking that it wasn't Waller who blackballed her. I think it's him. So he's angry about his son, and he knew they had a relationship, and then he could like basically break her to the point where now he can do this, because it's just weird that like he keeps on Economos and everything with it. And I mean, you'd think if it was Waller, she'd be mad at every single one of them, and they would all be done. But then Economos stays on, and I mean, I know he's got talents, but she's got talents too. So and just how he said it when he was kind of like Waller, to me, he had there was just something about it to where I was thinking like, I think it might be him that actually did it.
You're probably right, because he is there for one reason, for revenge. You can see that. I mean, they even say it in the previews. You know what I mean? Like, I think Harcourt says it in the previews that he's got like avenge for this, right? And so, yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, you're probably right. Shane?
Interesting.
Oh wait, no, I think we went to you, Shane. I forget where we're at already. Yeah. D, what do you think?
So before we see Rick Flag Sr. knock on the door, that scene where Harcourt is fighting the dude and she knocks his teeth out, and then it just like panels to her spitting in the sink. I thought that was really cool how they did that. Yeah. I don't know what it's called in videography world. Shane, match cut. Yeah, that was really cool to see that. And she's still like, her getting into bar fights with those big dudes last time did not quench her thirst of just wanting to like have that fight come out. So she's fighting this big dude in the alleyway, and just to, you know, get that I don't know, ease that rush of adrenaline of just needing to like pound something, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that scene panel was really awesome to see. And yeah, her interaction with Rick was, yeah, it was interesting because he calls her kid. So like when he sees her, he's like, "Oh, hey, kid." So then
Right.
it's like he's calling her that because does he actually know that she was seeing his son,
I
or
think
he
so.
just okay, or he
Yeah,
just
I think
assumed
so.
that they
Yeah.
were close. Um, so yeah, I think that whole interaction was interesting because you can see hardcore, like you can see she doesn't want to like betray her friends or Chris
Yeah.
and all them, but at the same time, like, yeah, her utilities are like she needs to pay her utilities, right? She has no
Yeah.
TV because they show what was it, the TV
Yeah.
mount, right? There's no TV, so she
Yeah.
can't even afford that. um and I don't know, I think she feels like she owes something to Rick because she was with Junior for a while,
Yeah.
and you know something bad really happened to him, and she's kind of involved with the person that made that happen.
Yeah.
So I think she's just torn because she's tired of going out looking for a fight. She wants to have a purpose and get a job, but she can't because of circumstances. So I think she's like, do I betray them or do I just have all my power, my utilities cut off? And, you know,
Well,
after I did all that for
I mean, at the same time, and
America.
previously when we met her in her flashback with with Flag Junior, she made it a point to say, "You're my only friend,"
Hmm.
and now she has this group of friends that are actual friends, and
Yeah.
how valuable is that compared to wanting to get back to work? So I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
once again, it comes back to the lines of dialogue. How important are they? Are they throwaway? Are they meant to be there to throw us off the thought process, off the case?
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
But I mean, they're kind of, well, they are familiar with each other because she knew how he takes his coffee, right?
that's true. That is.
So, um, but yeah, I thought that was an interesting kind of like um, moment, and then you get to see like what actually happens at the end of this episode, which I was like, no,
Yeah.
we'll
Do
see.
you, I mean, do
Anyway,
you think that he's gonna uh, see everybody and escape, or do you think that he's gonna get kidnapped?
I think he's a little bit more aware now that, well, hopefully, to watch his peripherals.
Yeah.
That, you know, oh, there's this person that looks familiar, or like, why are they dressed like that at the park at this time? You know,
Yeah.
there's like little things. So I hope he sees it, but or because when we got the text, when we saw the text, it didn't really um, imply anything, right? That she was also
No.
trying to like hint to him, like, come and meet me, but be careful. Like,
Right.
I don't know if they show the text message because there's a certain way that they talk to each other, and maybe I don't know.
Yeah. I
It'd be
don't know either.
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, what my gut tells me is that he's gonna see them and turn around and run back to the cabin, and there's gonna
Yep.
be a chase, and I think he's gonna dive into this other world and uh, deactivate the code box or something like that, and be in that world for the next episode at least. And then
Mhm.
we'll discover what the real deal is in that episode. And then he'll get discovered in that episode. And then he has to escape that. So he's trapped between being in a world where they figured him out and he's got to escape, or going back into a world where the Argus is after him and they want him to be locked up. So he's in a terrible position
Tough
where
pickle.
Yeah, between a rock and a hard place.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Or that's what this feels like it's building up to right here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and he thinks he's going to escape to something better, only to find out, oh crap. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But what's so interesting about that is, and I was going to show the preview, or at least without the audio, of what's to come, but because of the political stuff that happened last week, I didn't want to show that on screen. And it's going to be interesting to see that tonight as well. But
Mhm.
it did show in the preview that Peacemaker did take that device and turn it on somewhere else that didn't have the door on. So I think as long as he has that device, he can move that QUC around wherever he wants to go, as long as he can find a doorway. I probably don't even need a doorway, right?
Yeah.
Probably, but he just,
What about a window? Like some kind of entryway, right?
yeah, like some kind of entryway. But I think Shane's on it right there. I think he is going to escape to the other world. It only makes sense. I also think that Argus of DCU will follow him in there.
Yeah.
And I really want to see what Slider's depicting, where we do some world hopping. We got 99 doors. It would be really cool for them to chase Peacemaker through some doors. You know what I mean? Because, like, essentially, Peacemaker has the device, right? He could just open doors no matter what he wants to do. And maybe by Peacemaker opening all those doors, he starts ripping holes in the fabric of space and time, right? Because we do have Man of Tomorrow coming on, and that is a Lex Luthor and Superman story. So it's very interesting where it's going to go. I think Peacemaker is going to make it out of the whole Argus trap. I also think that Hardcore is going to have a change of heart. I really feel like now, and I think one of you guys said it. I think it was Slider, or either Slider or Shane, where it was Slider, where basically Flag is the person that blackballed Harcourt. I think that's what's going on. I think she finds out, she turns on them, and I think that's how this plays out. At least that's my speculation. Nation, guys, give me your final take. Slider.
Yeah, I think this episode should be pretty good with, I think it's going to have some more action, but I think we're definitely going to, I hope we're going to get to see the reveal of what's going on, like is it Earth X, is it something going on with, just in his mind or whatever. But I think like him and yeah, I think he's going to turn around with Hardcore. Hardcore. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to roll up, see what's going on, immediately turn around and go back. I think he's going to go into that, world and then try to like be Peacemaker in there. And then I think something's going to happen where he's going to find out, like we're going to get that reveal. And yeah, I think I'm looking forward to this episode because I think we can get some more stuff. And then, I think like the next three, I think James Gunn said like the last three are supposed to be like big episodes. He's like keeping the names secret and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, I think Lex Luthor is going to be in here at some point. Like that's just my guess for the cameo, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to this one and seeing how it turns out.
Shane, I know you got to go. Go for it.
Yeah, no, I think this was a setup episode, laying a lot of groundwork, and I'm excited to see where things head from here. I'm excited for tonight's episode.
Yeah. And then, guys, we'll have to figure out in the review. And Shane, pop out whenever you want. If you won, I will let you know, brother. But D, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh gosh, I think I kind of agree. Like he's gonna go to the park, he's gonna find that it's a trap, and then run away. And Vigilante comes and kicks their asses. But I think, yeah, I mean, or Adrian, right? Because we've been seeing a lot more of Adrian. So yeah, I think something's gonna happen to where we get to see Peacemaker and people running after him to the portal, and we'll see where they actually end up. Whether they're gonna go back to the same one he's been in, or because he's rushing to go somewhere, he's just gonna pick, or maybe he gets into a fight to where he can't go back to the world he was in before, because when you fight and stuff, you kind of move all over the place. So he's gonna end up in another different dimension. So yeah, I'm excited for it tonight. I get to see what it's about, and I'm gonna have to watch it a few times, take notes. But I think that's what's gonna happen.
Take notes.
Yes.
All right.
Take notes.
All right, guys. Well, that has been the review for season 2, episode 4 of Peacemaker. And, guys, it was an awesome episode. We can't wait for tonight's episode as we get to continue the journey. And I got to say, I'm with Slider on this. Like, if it's not the Mixoflix theory that I think it is, and we still have an Earth X playing in here, I have a funny feeling that Lex Luthor as well as Overman is going to show up. Because that is basically I kind of explained this last week. That is Earth X Superman. And it makes sense for them to show up because David Cornsweth was on set. Yeah. And it just makes sense also to bring your heavy hitters into this. If you're saying that Peacemaker season 2 is the connective tissue for your universe that you're expanding, although a very creative and colorful connective tissue, then you're going to have these big players show up. We already had Rick Flag show up. We already know that we're probably going to see Green Lantern come back. So I'm looking forward for the last 3 to 4 episodes in this series. And guys, let's get to the giveaway right here. We have right now 5 entries. I'm going to get the giveaway tool ready. And for the people entering, you have to you have to be a U.S. resident or have a U.S. address for us to mail this to. This is U.S. only. U.S. only. If you win and you do not provide a U.S. address, this cannot be shipped to you. By the way, this is a collector's item. This is the All-Star Superman, the AMC edition. You could only pick this up in AMC theaters. You can't find this anywhere else. Shout out to Christopher Stead. He donated this to the channel for the giveaways today. And good luck for everyone entering. And Saloni, I know you're in the U.S., so you can enter. Enter right now. I'm going to give you 1 minute. D, close out the show.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone that came and watched and listened to us talk about our thoughts and opinions on Peacemaker. This was a review on episode 4. For anyone that is watching and catching and is caught up with it, please join us next time as we review episode 5, or let us know in the comments like what you guys think is going to happen. But this is always fun to get a chance to talk to you guys and see what everyone's thoughts are. So thank you, Slider, for showing up. Thank you, Video Shane, for showing up as well. And thank you, Hinano, for hosting.
And also shout out to our crew that couldn't make it here. Shay, we miss you, along with Christopher, Big Bro, and Raven, and also Metabeast. Hopefully we'll catch him on the next one, guys. And good luck for the awesome comic that someone is going to win today. May the juju be with you.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Oh, it's Video Shane. Let's go.
It's
and
great.
Yes, guys. No, we allowed also the panelists to enter as well, because this is such a collector's item and you can't find it anywhere. So shout out to Video Shane right there. Wow. And yes, guys, we will have more giveaways in the future because Christopher did donate something else for a later date. But that's for another time. Stay tuned. And guys, that has been the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have 101 people watching. Shout out to everyone in the chats. I see you. IVVverse, Saloni, Majin, aka Jesus Lido over here, as well as IVVverse and everyone else. I see you, Ideal, and everyone else that I miss at the very top. We appreciate everyone for tuning in every single time. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Take care and aloha.
Bye.